Good morning. Welcome to ATI ProMedia. Today is our 50th live episode, and we couldn't have done it with all you not showing up. Of course, these three characters, myself, Brady, Connor, big help. Threw these guys an idea a few months ago and said, let's not just do a podcast. Let's do a live stream where we answer questions. We talk about today's news today. And today is episode 50. Now, what you didn't see was the 30 or 40 before that we practiced. And a lot of people have helped. There's people behind the scenes, of course, Joe, Rick, my wife Gina helps out. And as many of you have asked, in the next few weeks, we'll start rolling out premium content. That'll be interesting. We have a whole new list of characters we're going to introduce you to. We have 12 people who work at or with advanced trading, actually employee owners who are going to be part of the premium content. And we have 12 outside people, a weather person, political people, an options expert. We got a whole group of people. Of course, the goal is to educate you. So today, live at 9, 50th episode, this one's free. But moving forward, if you want premium content, we'll have that available. Okay, today's show. Grain markets relatively quiet. Things felt good when we opened up here. Corn, wheat, and beans were up. There's sense coming down. Little mixed board. Nice price action in cattle. Brady Huck will talk about that a little bit. We have some move in the stock market. We talked last week about 5 of those 7 huge stock companies coming out with earnings. We're starting to wind down earnings seasons. We did have a couple companies do layoffs, so it's like the economy's doing well, but companies are getting fit and trim. We had a big move in the bond market. Of course, we like to talk interest rates, not every day, but some days. With that, we'll bring Connor in, and then Brady's going to pop in the end. Probably going to be a little short show today unless we start making stuff up. Connor B, what do we have to talk about?
Well, we can make up a lot of stuff, but jumping right into it, yeah, slow news day. First thing we got that Goldman roll is going to start tomorrow for grain futures, so keep an eye on that. And then Thursday, we've got USDA report out at 11. CONAB is out that morning. I think it's at 6, 7 o'clock. Don't quote me on that, Tommy, but it's out that morning. So a lot of news to digest. We'll have our head of research, Cesar Cruz, really to break down those numbers before, and then we'll be going live as well. Let's talk about that tomorrow, though. We'll break down some estimates. Other thing we have, Tommy, just flying through it, stock futures are mixed. Traders evaluate the biggest bond sell-off since 2022. Is this all based on Jay Powell's rhetoric, or is there anything else working there?
Looking at the bond market today, it's up a little bit, meaning like yields are down. But boy, did they have a big move from that Thursday, Friday, Monday move, a very intense move. And it's fun to watch Wall Street, or if you watch a show like Bloomberg, they're like, oh, rates are coming down and oh, rates are going back up. We all look like a big clown show, right? And the one person who controls it all is he's like, oh, we may wait, we may this. There's an election this year. And I believe, you know, the Fed is going to do whatever they can do to make the American people feel good. I think they'll wait till right at the end, like the last, towards the end of this year. But who knows? It's I've seen some punches pulled. You said something the other day, a few weeks back. You said, uh, "Oh, the Chinese stock market that they stopped them from short selling, and the Chinese stock markets had a really bad go." But many years ago, during '08, when we're going from the Bush administration to the Obama administration, the stock market was going down so fast that we actually
Right.
didn't allow short selling, and it created one of the most vicious short
Right.
covering rallies ever. I remember feeling really good about the position I had on, and then feeling a little cheated. So the government can come in and do things. I don't think they're going to do that for corn. So for all of you who are out there like, oh, the funds are short 350, you are long 1.5 million contracts of corn. So just talking about that in outside markets. But hey, real quick, let's pay respect to Bill Northey. I was friends with Bill Northey on LinkedIn and some other social medias, and I'd reached out to him a few times. I never met him in person. But this is a statement on the death of Bill Northey. Bill understood well our responsibility to be good stewards of the land and exemplified that calling throughout his career. Governor Kim Reynolds. Anyway, Bill was just an absolute legend. Iowa, one of the biggest, baddest ag states, of course, California also. But great guy.
Other,
I mean,
yeah,
I don't think
other
you'll see an outpouring like that if I die. I'll tell you that kind of thing. Just a note.
Another, just along those lines, on sad news, Toby Keith passed away. I don't know if you saw that, Tommy. So
Yeah, I
rest
did.
in peace.
I like.
Talk about a great guy. I don't know how many times he went overseas and played for the troops, but
Yeah,
sad to
yeah.
see him
There we
go.
go. Toby Keith,
There we
America.
go.
Never
Good one, Bill.
apologize for being a patriot. I'll tell you, Kobe Keith was in Porter County Fair here like 4 or 5 years ago, and we went to the show, and we knew it was going to rain. We're all looking at our radars. It's not going to rain. It's going to downpour. He went on stage. He sang one song. It came out a red solo cup. He sang one song. It started pouring, and the show was canceled. So I did see Toby Keith perform one song in Valparaiso, Indiana. We need more people like that. We need more patriots.
Absolutely.
All right. Speaking of being a patriot, you want to hear something that's going up? Cattle. Let's get Brady Huck in the show here. And he's a patriot. He's got real cowboy boots. He don't just play cowboy. And what were you doing on the ranch the other day that you weren't on the show?
Yesterday we had to go ultrasound our bulls. So we ultrasound them, collect some data. A lot of data and a lot of work goes into getting bulls ready for sale day, but collecting data on them. So we scan them, get ribeye, IMF, yearling weights. And I spent most of my day, guys, with my head between the back legs of the bulls measuring scrotals.
Well,
Pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, we'll post a picture of that tomorrow. No, we won't. But I'll tell you one thing about bulls and CattleCon. If you guys saw that special with Don Wick was at CattleCon, and I asked him, did they talk about artificial intelligence or anything else or carbon? And he went on like they talked about this, they talked about that. So that's a video on the ATI YouTube channel, Don Wick live from CattleCon. Technology is really going to change your industry, isn't it, Brady?
It's working its way in there, Tommy. It is. And I don't think we can avoid things coming in to enhance and improve the process. But at the end of the day, it's boots on the ground. There's a lot of work involved, and there's just some things that are going to be really difficult to replace without cowboys. So you got to have cowboys at the end of the day.
Connor B. Joe, you could pull up Connor's charts. We'll go through these, us three guys. More Connor and Brady can talk. I'm going to do my job and just sit here and look good.
And you're great at that. So, guys, a lot of news out of South America. We'll have CONAB numbers, like we said, Thursday, but soybean harvest progress. And then we also saw some safrinha corn crop planting progress. But kick it off, soybean progress. They're progressing nicely. As you can see, they're 14% harvested, all the way planted. A big jump from last week. Last week, they were 8.6%. Mato Grosso region is rocking and roll as well, 30% harvested. So, to me, the big story, though, and what we should be looking at is the safrinha corn crop, right? How that is progressing. And they had a massive jump from last week. Last week, they were 10%. This week, almost 20% planted. It's the biggest jump we've seen since 2013, guys. So they are rocking and rolling. And I feel like this is kind of against the grain. I think a month ago, 2 months ago, we were talking about how maybe we would see a slow planting progress due to being delayed in the soybean planting. That's obviously not the case. We're seeing them move right along. Not a whole lot of rain in the forecast, so I think we could see that continue to progress next week.
Brady, can you explain how that happened in your best Donald Trump voice?
Well, Connor and I, we were having fun with fake Donald Trump.
Do it.
These they got these huge planters down there. They're massive. They're huge.
And that's true. It actually is true. And shout out to the South American farmers. Yeah. All right, what do we have here, gentlemen?
Same thing, different way to look at it. 5-year average versus where they are for 24. As you can see, we're a little bit above the 5-year average and well ahead of the planting pace from last year. So they are moving right along. Soybean harvest, corn harvest. They're going. Weather down there, normal precipitation for Brazil. Argentina was hot last week, calling for some T-storms later this week, I believe. So weather, not a big factor so far, but we'll see. We'll continue to digest that safrinha corn crop as it gets planted, and we'll see the weather there.
Great stuff. Light news day, light on stocks, light on bonds, cattle, nice tone. Grains were higher than lower. They're coming back.
Hey, I got a big one for you, Tommy.
Yes, sir.
So Luke yesterday, he
our
long-term commenter, he was talking about Krispy Kreme. So I had to look up. I had to look up. I'm going to call this the Krispy Kreme index. So in 2019, price of a dozen of donuts was where's my notes at? $7.99 for a price of donuts. In 2023, it is $16, $15.99 for a dozen box of donuts. That is a 67% increase in Krispy Kreme donuts over the year. So Luke, if you're watching, right, wheat futures, Brady and I were talking in 2019, I think wheat was around $5. Right now it's a little bit above $6, a long way away from where we spiked in that Ukraine war. But that Krispy Kreme index, right, that's a good inflation gauge as any.
Yep.
And in colleges, they study the Big Mac Index. That's a
Right.
real thing. Yeah. Yeah. With that, we don't have any questions or comments, but as always, everyone's allowed to ask questions or comments. We say hi to our friends on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. No questions, no comments. I have stuff to do. I'm jumping
Wrap it
on a
up.
flight going to Nashville.
Yeah.
RFD-TV and Scott the Cow Guy and his whole staff have asked me to host Cow Guy Close again tomorrow, Wednesday, and we will be live from Nashville on Thursday doing a USDA report. And then after that, I'll go do the Cow Guy Close. And then Michael Reginelli, Brian Bastine, and Drew Moore are going to do a deep dive into the numbers. With that, if you ever need to get a hold of us, we are live at 9, of course. We are on YouTube, we're on Spotify, and we're on Apple. And I noticed, guys, I looked at our downloads on Apple and Spotify. They're all going up a little bit every day. Click
Awesome.
like and subscribe. You can give us a call, 1-855-737-FARM. That number rings to my line, Joe Grisafi, Gina Grisafi. You got the Grisafi trio there. Or you can email us, info@ATI ProMedia. With that, let's roll that 50th anniversary thing one more time to close the show. We'll give Gina the day off on closing the show. But overall, look at that. Look at that. 50 episodes, practiced 30 times, did 50 live. I hope to see you boys on episode 500. Everyone, have a great day. Connor, Brady, checking out.
Have a good one.